Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Module 5 of the course Judging the Frisian Horse and also Part 11 of the college tour of the KFPS, the Royal Frisian Horse Organization. Module 5 is about scores, premiums and predicates. Chapter 9 in our famous book. This book, everything is written down, really a good book to read. You can order that at the KFPS site. So scores, premiums and predicates. First we start talking about the grading at studbook acceptance, then the inspection of studbook star and crown mares, then crown and model decoration, the predicates, and at the end, how do I read the studbook paper? Judging a 3-year and older horse. Foals are discussed in a separate module, the next module. So today only adult horses. We are judging a horse and we do that in 5 parts. First the breeding type, then conformation, then legwork, walk and trot. For each part we give a score. The score of walk and trot are counting double. The score we are giving is 4 to 9. 4 means that's poor, and if a horse gets for a part a 4, that means no acceptance in the studbook, and if he is already in the studbook, that means he doesn't get a premium that day. 5 is unsatisfactory, 6 is satisfactory, and 6.5, important to know, is the breeding type average. That means if you have a horse with all 6.5, you have a good horse in the midsection of our breed. Not a bad horse. Everybody wants to have a star or even more, but if you have a horse with all 6.5 scores, that is a good average horse. Then 7 means more than satisfactory, 8 is really good, and 9 is very good. Almost the ideal horse. It approaches ideal breeding goal. If we have given 5 marks, then we start counting. We have to calculate what's the average of that 5 scores. Walk and trot are counting twice. If the average is 6.5 or more, the horse will get a first premium. If the average is 7.0 or more, then the horse gets a star second premium. 6.5 or a little bit more, that's a third premium. So 6.5, I said that's the average. That means you get a third premium for your horse. Then you have a good horse. A third premium horse is a good example of our breed. If you have 6.0 or a little bit more, then your horse is accepted in the studbook without a premium. And if it is less than 6, there's no acceptance. The horse is not taken in the studbook. Or if it is a repeat mare, if it is already studbook and it comes back again for a new inspection, then the horse doesn't get a premium. I had to add some things. For star, an average on walk and trot should be 6.5 or more. If there is 1 score 4 or 2 scores of 5, then we don't accept the horse in the studbook. And if it is already in the studbook, then it doesn't get a premium. And if there is one score 5, then your horse can't get a star. As I said already a few times, scores for movement count double. Not accepted, what does it mean? When a horse has 1 4 or 2 times 5, then the horse is not accepted. It's not taken in stud book, it stays full book. It stays registered, but it doesn't come in the new book in the stud book. For breeding type, a 4 means that the horse is not really a Frisian horse. It doesn't have the characteristics of the Frisian breed. It is very rare. To be honest, I never saw a 4 for breeding type, but it is possible. Confirmation, that is more, that you see more, that's when your horse has a very weak top line, a sway back, something like that, a sunken back, a roach back, or when your horse is strongly downhill built, or the connections are poor, so really not a good conformation, then you can get 4 for that horse. For legwork we see more times 4. When there is a serious leg defect, or when you have very uneven feet, or strong deviations in the stances of the legs, then we give a score 4 for legwork. Leg defects like bogspaven, bootspaven, wrong conformation of the hock, things like that. Also we see sometimes 4 for walk. That's of course when the horse is lameness, or a lateral walk. It can also be an overactive or cramped walk. That's really insufficient. That's really a score 4. And in the trot actually the same. Lameness or an overactive trot can also give a 4 for the trot. And that means no acceptance. This was about judging mares and geldings. How is it when we are judging stallions? For stallions we don't give premiums. It is only star or not star. 2 possibilities. The stallion will get a star when the average score is again 7 or more. The same 5 parts and the same way of giving scores, of course. The scores for movement again count double. Movement average should be at least 6.5, and a 4 or a 5, then the horse, the stallion, doesn't become star. We have also the first selection in December of the young stallions. Actually, that has the same meaning as a full book stallion inspection. When a stallion is accepted for the second round, then he becomes star. So all the horses, all the stallions that are in the second round or third round are star. Let's go and look better to the scores and the calculations, because that's really a little bit difficult. You take the mark for breeding type, the mark or the score for conformation, the mark for legwork, for walk and trot. Walk and trot, they count twice, double. Then you get a total, you divide the total by 7. You have 7 scores, 1, 2, 3, double, and again double. So the 7 divided by 7, and then you have the average. Here you have an example, all 7s, that means 49 in total, the average score is 7.0. Here again, an example, all 7s, of course, average is 7. Second Preemie star. This example, very nice marks. If you calculate, then you see it is exactly 7.5. That means it is a star first premium. For those who are looking very well, these scores are all 7.5, and 8 and a 7 is also average 7.5. Just without calculating, you see immediately that this is 7.5 average, and the horse will get a first premium. This one, the marks for exterior are not high, average just, but in the movement he's doing very well. The average is 7.3, second premium star. The last one of this slide, here again, a very good horse, very good in the very good marks for exterior, racial type, conformation, legwork, but in the movement a little bit less, but when you calculate, the average is 7.0, so this means this horse, because of the nice scores here, gets a second Preemie star. Here we have a horse with very nice marks for exterior, but for walk 6, trot 6.5, the average is 7.0, but the horse is not star because the average of the movement is not 6.5. Here we have a horse. You can see it is not 7.0 average, so not star. That means a third Preemie, half a point short. The next one, very beautiful horse, 9 for racial type, for breeding type, 8 for conformation, but 5 for leg quality, for leg work, and 7s for the movement. This horse has an average of 7.0, but is not star because there's 1-5. And if the horse has 1-5, one score 5, then the horse can't be a star. Here one with perfect marks for exterior, but a 4 for the walk. So this horse, and an 8 also for the trot, but this horse is not accepted in the stud book because of the 4 for the walk. And here one with 2 5s, so not accepted in the stud book. We have a few examples. Yeah, it is more arithmetic than judging, I think. But let me say this, it is all about the horse, of course. We are looking at the horse and the scores helping us to make the decision. But if we see at the end there's half point short for star, and we see a horse and we think this is a star, then of course we look again at the scores and see if we did it right. Yes, that's a reconsideration to see if we can't change the marks. We have to make a decision very quickly, so you must be able to see in a split of a moment if you have enough scores or not. Half a point short for movement counts twice, then you need 1 point extra for exterior to compensate. The other way around, if you have 1 point short for exterior, then you need only half a point extra for movement to compensate. So here we have an example, half a point short for trot counts twice, 1 point extra for breeding type. So this one, 1 point here can compensate half a point there. The other way around, half a point for the trot extra, that can compensate 1 point for breeding type. And here, half a point extra for conformation, half a point short for walk. This cannot compensate that, because this score is counting once and this twice. That means you have just a very little bit short to get a star. At this moment, of course, the judge will say, hey, let's look again at this horse. Are we doing well? Is this right? Or shall we change the marks? And we'll try to find extra half a point somewhere. Okay, we have some extra things. The preliminary star declaration. That's for mares, geldings and stallions. Not for 3-year-old horses, but only for horses that are 4 years or older. If you have a horse with the exterior star worthy, so exterior, breeding type, conformation, legwork are 7 average or more, but the scores for movement are not sufficient for star, then the judges can say this horse is preliminary star. When you have a mare or a gelding, the mare or gelding gets a 3rd premium. For stallions we don't give premiums, dus that stays full book. But after the inspections, the horse can do an IBOP or ABFP, and then the end result is not so important, but we are looking then at the walk and the trot of the test, and if the average of walk and trot is 6.7 or more, then the horse becomes automatically star. You don't have to go again to the inspections. Automatically the 3rd premium is changed in star. So if the horse has already a good IBOP, then of course we can use those marks already. That's what we are going to explain now. How do we use the results of the IBOP and the ABFP test? When the scores for walk and trot of an IBOP and ABFP test are good, then positively they can be used for the result of the inspection. Sport results are not included. Let me give an example. We have a 4-year-old mare. We are judging the horse in hand, and then the scores are 777 exterior and 2 times 6.5 for the movement. So good enough for star the first 3 scores, but the scores for movement not good enough. The horse has already an IBOP score with 7 for walk and 7 for trot. Total was 72, but that's not important. 7 for walk, 7 for trot. What can we do? We take the scores for walk and trot from the IBOP and replace the 6.5 and 6.5 of the inspection by 2 7s. And then you have all 7s. So actually the scores for IBOP or ABFP are overruling the bad scores of the inspection. So it is very important to do a test. With a good result, it can help to improve, to upgrade your horse. Okay, the inspections of the studbook mares and star and crown mares. Studbook mares, there we have the category upgrading. The way we are working is exactly the same as told before, with marks and the average of 7 for star and so on and so on. And also, of course, the preliminary star. We have also a category star mares and a category crown mares, different categories, but we work in the same way. When they come for inspection, then there is a selection whether or not for the central inspection. If they are good enough for the central inspection, then they are selected, they get a first premium. If they are not good enough for the central inspection, they are not selected, they don't get a premium, there's nothing on the paper, so you can't see afterwards that the horse has been to the inspection. So you can't lose anything, you can only win a first premium. That's how it goes in the Netherlands. In foreign countries we do it a little bit different. We have the same way the first viewing. We can say the horse is selected and gets a first premium, or it is not selected and there's no indication of the inspection result on the studbook paper. If the horse is selected, then we see the horse back at the end of the day and there's a second viewing, and then we can decide is it upgraded to crown or upgraded to model. The way of giving scores is the same, and the way of calculating the premium is also the same. So for the first premium, we want to see a 7.5 or more average. After that you get a card with the results for breeding type, conformation, legwork, walk and trot on it, and the premium, first premium or nothing. And here is for star mares, you get a first premium, or it is not invited, not selected. For horses, studbook mares that are coming for upgrading, for star, then it is a little bit different. This is not there, but all the other things are exactly the same. At the back side of that card you see the explanation of how we work with scores and what the average should be for first premium, second premium and so on. Crown declarations. Yeah, when your horse is selected for the second viewing, then it has to show again what she can. It is a little bit different than the first viewing. But the first viewing, good scores for movement can compensate scores that are less for exterior, or the other way around. But now we are looking separately to the scores for exterior, breeding type, conformation, legwork, and separately to the marks for walk and trot. If it is a horse without an IBOB or without a test, then both parts have to be at least 7.5. If that is so, then the horse becomes preliminary crown. The horse should be at least 3 years old. After that, the horse has to do a test, and the minimum score must be 77 points. that gives a double A predicate. Walk, trot and canter, the average should be at least 7 with a minimum score of 6. So no score 5 is allowed. You can also try to get a sport predicate. We will talk about that later. That's also good to become permanent crown. This is for a horse that doesn't have already a good result for a test. If you have a horse that has already a good result of the test, if that horse has a double A already, then it becomes immediately permanent crown. There's one thing extra. If the horse has a triple A, a very high score for the test, then that can compensate the marks, the scores for exterior. So if you don't have exactly enough, not 7.5 average for the first 3 scores, but you have triple A for the test, then that triple A can compensate what you miss for the first 3 scores. So again, a good score for a test, IBOP test or ABFP test, helps a lot. Model declaration, in fact, is more or less the same. The crown mares that are really the best of the first premiums, but models that are the top range of our mares. Only very few become model. Let me say in a year about 15 or something like that all over the world. First premiums, we have more or less 10% all over the world at the end of the year. 50% of that, so almost 4 or 5% of all the mares become crown. Models, only very few, as I said. We work in the same way as the inspection of a for crown. Also here, the model declaration is only done at a central inspection. That's in the Netherlands. Abroad we work in a different way. The horse must be 7 years or older and at least have nursed 1 foal. What we are checking, of course, is the same parts with the same scores as we explained before. But here's one thing more important. For a model, we want to have a mare with durability, a good strong top line, good quality of the legs. And then the same if the horse has already done an ABFP test or an IBOP with 77 points or more, then the horse becomes immediately model. If the results of the test are not good enough or the horse didn't do a IBOP or a ABFP, then she is preliminary model and she has to do a test with the good results. Or try to get the sport predicate. Yeah, we were talking about scores for the 5 main subjects, but there's always one other thing, that's the minimum height at birth. For acceptance in the stud book, mares should be 1.54 centimeters. For the star predicate, 2 centimeters more, so 1.56 meters. For crown again 2 centimeters more, 1.58. And for model again 2 centimeters more, 1.60. The geldings and stallions have to be 2 centimeters more. So for acceptance, for acceptance in the gelding book 1.56. For the star predicate 1.58. Also stallions for the predicate for a star stallion 1.58. Stallions that are selected for the central examination of 3 years old have to be 1.58, and stallions for the central examination of 4 years and older have to be 160. So each grade more, 2 centimeters more, and male horses 2 centimeters more than the female horses. Why that 1.60 for model? The breeding goal is actually something like 1.65 or around. That's what we think is the ideal horse. A little bit more or a little bit less than 1.65. So that's why we say a model should be at least 1.60. There is no maximum, so a horse of 1.70 or 1.72 or something like that is accepted and can have the same predicate as another one. There's only a limit below, a minimum height. When we work all over the world, in 40 countries, in the Netherlands, all the inspection in all the countries done by all the judges should be the same. We have to work exactly the same way. So we have a very strong standardization. We have rules in a book, a jury manual, with all the rules, all the regulations are in it. And besides that, we work together a few times in a year, all together, to be sure that we will judge in the same way. If we see a walk that and one says 6.5, then every judge should say 6.5. We should have the same judgment, the same score. And that means that we have worked together and discussed together to do it in the same way. And if we have a difference, then we have to discuss what's the right way. That's why we are with more judges. Standardization. During the year, we have newsletters to inform everybody in the right way that we still keep on going in the same way. At the end of the year, we have evaluation with statistics, all judges together. And we see what we have done and how many stars and what's the average of the score for walk, what's the average of all the scores of for breeding type, and so on. And we discuss that. And in winter time, then we see this evaluation, and we see all those statistics, and then we look, should we change the policy? So every year there is an evaluation to adjust the policy. Okay, back to all the predicates. We have 3 types of predicates. Predicates based on inspection, star, crown and model. But we have also predicates based on sport performance. The predicates based on the inspections, star, model and crown we discussed before. Let's look now better to the other predicates. We have test predicates, official sport predicate, and sport elite predicate. The test predicates for the tests ABFP, IBOP, or also for stallions the central examination. If the score is 73 to 76.5, then you get the predicate A. By the way, 6.5 is average times 11, so 73, that's average or a little bit more. Predicate A. If you have 77 to up to 81.5, then the horse gets the predicate AA. Comes on the paper. Also predicate A comes on the paper. If the score is 82 or higher, high score, the predicate is AAA. And as I said, AAA can help to get a star mare crown or a star crown mare to model, because a AAA compensates a little bit if the horse doesn't have enough scores for the exterior. That's the test predicate. Then we have the official sport predicate. Yeah, you can have a sport predicate by doing a very high level of dressage, show driving, driving dressage, or combined driving. And for the Netherlands, we define that very clearly what you have, which level you need for that title, for that predicate. We compare, every country has a different system. We compare the system of a country with the system of the Netherlands, and when they are more or less equal, you can have also the sport title. Then we have the sport elite title. That's a very nice one. That's everywhere the same. The horse should perform on the level of Prix Saint-Georges with a result of 5 times 60%. Or it should have the sport predicate in 3 disciplines. So the sport title for dressage, the sport title for show driving, the sport title for driving dressage or combined driving. So 3 sport titles gives also the title of sport elite. The sport title can help a mare to become, instead of preliminary crown, permanent crown. You can do that by test, 77 AA, or you can do that by the sport title. And so that's the sport title is also important, but a good test predicate, I repeat it, is very important, and it helps you to get a higher predicate. And it helps, of course, the stud book to collect data. That's very important for the breed, it's very important for the stallion. The results are calculated and given back this information to the breeders. Okay, the third type of predicate we have is the predicates based on offspring. For breeders, very, very important. We have what we call in Dutch prestatie, performance, and we have preferent. And there's also something like crown jewel. Okay, let me explain this. Prestatie in Dutch, or performance, means that in the offspring of a mare are 3 horses with a sport predicate or a test score of at least 75 points. The test score can be an IBOB score, an ABFP score, or a score in the central examination. And here is 75. Normally, we want to have 77. That's important for a horse to become from preliminary crown, or from preliminary model. But 75 is already a very nice score, a good score. If there are 3 horses with 75 points, then the mother becomes prestatie, very good, a very important predicate. So be happy with a score of 75. Then we have preferent. That means that 4 horses in the offspring of a mare have the star predicate. 4 stars. Can be star stallion, star gelding, star mare, 4 stars. When you see preferent star 6, that means the mare has 6 stars in the offspring. So because preferent means only that there are 4, but nowadays, since a few years, we put behind that a number to say how many stars there are. And then we have a special title, not an official predicate, doesn't come on the paper. That's crown jewel. We call a horse a crown jewel when she's double preferent. That means 8 stars in the offspring. That's of course a very good horse. These predicates are of course very important for a breeder to have a good mare line with constant good results. Okay, the last thing is, how do I read the studbook paper? Yeah, here we see a studbook paper. There are different colors. A few years ago it was yellow-green. Now it is more blue. There are also other colors. That is for bijboek horses. So not in the official main register, but in the bijboek registers. Let's go and look what's on this paper. Above you see a lot of information. Here it is in which register it is. This one is in the foal book. The gender is mare. This is the registration number. The last digits are, here is the year of birth and then a number. Here we have the ship number, the day of birth, the inbreeding, and here is the mare line to have more information. Then there is of course, here are the dates that he's taken in a different register. The color is black, markings allowed no, markings not allowed no, and here mostly when he has been inspected already, then here are the results of the inspection. And at the end there's the breeder and the owner. That's what I was discussing. Okay, here you see the pedigree, sire and dam, with registration numbers. Here you can see registration number 2007, so it is a mare of 2007. And behind that there are the predicates. So this one is a studbook stallion with the predicate sport, elite, with the, and that's very rare, with the predicate preferent and with the predicate AAA. So a very high score for the test. Sire, dam. That's the, of course, is the sire of the dam, and that's the dam's dam. So actually, when you want to look at the mare line, you look at the mother of the mother, and go so on the lowest line that are always the mothers, and behind that you can see all the predicates. Yeah, stud book with sport, and here's one star preferent for. Yeah, here special one star preferent prestatie, and so preferent 9 times, so that's also a crown jewel. Okay, this is the paper. There are more details, but that's the main line. So below are all the mares, and if all the mares have a special predicate, like star prestatie preferent model, then you say it is a full paper. But more important than those titles, than those predicates, are the breeding values. And if you want to know more about breeding values, then you have to look again to the first session of this course. Yeah, okay, I think we have done. Yeah, the first part, of course, of the college tour. You have, Itz Hellinger has explained everything about breeding values. Okay, this was the end. The next module is module 6. Corrie Terpstra will do that, and she will talk about judging of foals. Chapter 10 in this book. Again, everything we are telling now is written in this book. A good readable text, and also very nice pictures. It explains a lot. I thank you for your attention. Hope to see you in another module.